Hello, students. Have a nice day to all. Today I am going to continue with the third chapter from your English textbook, Flamingo. The name of the chapter is Deep Water, written by William Douglas. In the previous class, I have told you about the incident which took place at YMCA swimming pool, where the young writer was pushed into the pool by a big boy, and the writer went down 9 feet into the deep water. He felt paralyzed with fear. Though he tried to come up, all his efforts went in vain, and he went down again and again, even the third time. At this time, he began to lose his consciousness, and he was moving towards peaceful death. He was not afraid of drowning anymore at this time. He felt sleepy as he felt nice to be carried in his mother's arms. When William gained consciousness, he was lying on his stomach near the pool and he was vomiting. He heard someone scolding the boy who had pushed him into the pool. The voice said that William had almost died, and the boy replied that he was making fun with him. Then the voice asked that boy to carry William to the locker room. After a few hours, William went to his home. He went by walking. He felt weak and he was shivering. He kept on crying as he reached home and lay on his bed. He could not eat anything that night because that incident made him very upset both mentally and physically, and the fear kept on haunting him for so many days together. Thereafter, William never went back to that pool and he kept himself away from water. After some years, William came to know of a waterfall and he wanted to go in it. Whenever he went for swimming in different rivers like the Titan, Bumping River, Warm Lake of the Great Rocks, the fear that seized him in the YMCA swimming pool came back to his mind. The fear would grab him completely and he was unable to move his limbs, and that fear would grab his heart also. The fear of water remained with William as he grew up. Whenever he went for boating trips to different lakes in the main region, New Hampshire, Deschutes, Metolius, Columbia, Bumping Lake, etc., in all these places, he did fishing and he got varieties of fish also from there. But the same fear haunted him in all these places, and the fishing trips were spoiled as he did not enjoy boating and swimming due to his fear. William tried many ways to overcome this fear of water, but he was unable to get rid of it. Finally, in the month of October, he decided to get an instructor to teach him swimming. Now, William describes the learning experience of swimming here. He would practice for 5 days under his instructor, and he did practice of 1 hour each day. The instructor put a belt around William's waist. The belt was attached to a thick rope. The rope went through an overhead pulley and was held by the instructor. This was done to ensure that in case William drowned, the instructor would pull him out of water. William swam across the length of the pool for several weeks. Whenever the instructor loosened the rope, he went down into the water and the fear would return to him. This feeling of fear would prevent him from moving his legs. It was after 3 months of practice that William got comfortable to swim. Then the instructor taught him to breathe in the water. He taught him to put his face under the water and exhale his breath. He also taught him to raise his nose out of the water and inhale. William practiced this many times, and gradually he got rid of the panic that would grab him when he put his head under water. Then the instructor taught William to kick the water surface with his legs. Many weeks he practiced this, and gradually he mastered in doing this with his legs. Finally, the instructor completed the training. He made a good swimmer out of the writer. So one day, in the month of April, the instructor told William that now he could swim. He asked William to dive into the pool and swim the length of the pool in a particular style called crawl stroke. William had not overcome the fear yet and wondered if the terror would grab him when he would be alone in the water. He tried to swim alone in the pool. The terror returned in small phases. But now, as he knew how to swim, he faced the terror with confidence. He swam another length of the pool. William practiced like this till the month of July, but he was not satisfied with that. He wanted to make sure that the fear had left him completely. So he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, dived into it from Triggs Island, and swam for 2 miles up to Stamback Island. He swam in different styles: crawl stroke, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. The terror returned only once when he was in the middle of the lake. This time he laughed at the terror and said that it could not harm him. He saw that the terror vanished and he continued swimming in the lake. William still had some doubt left in his mind about the fear. So he went up the Titan. You know, Titan is a city in Yakima in USA. So in Titan he reached Conrad Meadows. From there he walked up the Conrad Creek Trail to Mead Glacier. These are the mountainous areas of that place. He camped at the meadow by the warm lake. Next morning, he wore the swimming costume and dived into the lake. He swam across it to the other end and returned just like the famous American Doug Carpenter, who was a swimmer. You know, Doug Carpenter also used to swim across from one shore to another and then he came back. William also imitated the same action, to overcome his residual fears of water. William shouted with joy as he had overcome his fear. His sound was reflected back by the Gilbert mountain peak that he had overcome the fear. The experience had a great importance in William's life. He realized that death was peaceful and only the fear of death was fearful. He concludes this lesson by recollecting the words of the ex-American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt had once said that all we have to fear is the fear itself. At last, the writer felt released from the fear and he was free to walk up the trails and climb up the mountain fearlessly. Through the story Deep Water, the writer William Douglas wants to convey that nothing stands before a determined person. A person with strong willpower can overcome all obstacles that comes in the path of his success. That is what Douglas proves in this story. He was determined to overcome his fear of water and he could achieve it. Hope that you all understood the story very well. Please read the lesson from your textbook. We'll meet again with another lesson. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.